Our next two presenters were 2023's recipients of the Changemaker of the Year Award, 2022 Youth Ambassador Program alumna Annie Dong, and actor, advocate, and content creator Ryan Alexander Holmes. Please, everyone, welcome Annie and Ryan.
Hi, everyone. My name is Annie. I'm one of ActiChange's 2023 Changemakers of the Year. I'm excited to have this opportunity to share some of my reflections on changemaking and congratulate this year's honorees. I'm saddened that I'm not able to give these remarks in person. As a student at Columbia University, my ability to have continued and convenient access to food and housing was impacted by police presence and administrative restrictions. For this reason, I had to return home earlier than expected. Indeed, with so many student protests and encampments spurred by the resilient activism of my peers at Columbia, the meanings and costs of changemaking are evident in our world today. In the last month, I've witnessed firsthand the organizing and global expansion of a multi-ethnic, multi-faith coalition of students who refuse to remain silent toward our university's complicity in genocide, who chose to sacrifice their personal safety and security to protest for Palestine despite threats and punishments from the administration and beyond. As a young activist, these pro-Palestinian movements spearheaded by youth has led me to reflect upon the political implications of my Asian American identity as one birthed through the ceaseless efforts of revolutionaries who refused to be Oriental, as one birthed through the pan-ethnic solidarity of the Third World Liberation Front, as one plagued by the intergenerational traumas of colonialism, and is one that has resisted the same Orientalism that demands resistance today. Indeed, change-making begins when we put in the work to contextualize, when we trace our contemporary experiences to histories of oppression and remain assured that our pain and our confusion are collective and real. Then, change-making happens when we do not refrain from vocalizing what we see and live and feel, while actively learning about and empathizing with the experiences of others like and unlike ourselves. If we do this, if you do this, at some point, someone will be changed by you. To this day, I believe that I received the Changemaker of the Year award last year simply because I was willing to affirm and broadcast the lived realities of Asian American youths around me. Of course, changemaking isn't always as simple as that. As I've seen, sometimes when we assert beliefs that contradict those of people in positions of power, our movements are demonized, our livelihoods are seized, our well-beings are endangered. Nonetheless, I'd like to remind everyone that unity is the ultimate pathway to resistance. When enough voices come together to amplify a cause, to proclaim justice, to demand what is right, we will not be defeated. Whether it takes weeks, months, years, or centuries, the students, united, will never be defeated. Oppression will always face resistance, and resistance will come to fruition. Now, allow me to end with an attempt at change-making. Let us confront the terror of what is happening in the world head-on. Let us remember that revolutionaries have brought us to becoming Asian American, and let us recognize that revolution is needed now. Let us stand in unity with the student activists at the forefront of liberation movements worldwide by vocalizing our solidarity through social media, donations, civic engagement, and education. Finally, let us recognize the important work done by organizations like Act to Change in incubating and fostering communities of young changemakers who are willing to speak up and advocate. To this year's honorees, congratulations on your well-earned award and on forwarding the spirit of change-making in a time when it matters so. I'll now pass the mic to my fellow honoree from last year, also 2023 Changemaker of the Year, Ryan Alexander Holmes. Thank you.
Hi, it's great to be here. My name is Ryan Alexander Holmes. I'm an actor, a content creator, and I came out as Asian about 4 years ago. My Puerto Rican and Dominican and Brazilian exterior confuses a lot of people. Up until I came out as Asian, I was pretty much only Asian in my household, because when I stepped out of my household, society seemed to see me very, very differently. Matter of fact, my household is here. They're right there. Please stand, household. Mother, father, uncle, grandma. Yes, they gave me the courage to continue to be myself, despite being the only one of my kind in most spaces I was in. They taught me that any bullying that I did experience was simply a reflection of being unique, and being unique is an honor, is it not? Act to Change also instilled me with that same courage. They were the first organization to even recognize me as Asian American. They saw me as I see myself, 100% Asian, 100% black, and it felt pretty gosh darn good. And I won't shut up about being black and Asian. I won't stop saying I'm 100% both. I won't stop saying, it's not that I don't look Asian, you've just never seen an Asian like me before. Yes. I won't shut up, ever, and thank you, Act to Change. Thank you, Act to Change, for creating this Blasian monster that won't tolerate bullying of any kind. But anyway, let me introduce you to the true star of today's show. It is my pleasure to introduce to you today a true powerhouse of courage, determination, and leadership, Jason Liaw. I have more things to say. I'm going to brag about this man. A 3-time class president at his high school, which I didn't know you could do. I didn't know you could be class president 3 times. An entrepreneur and co-author of the book Down to Business, 51 Industry Leaders Share Practical Advice on How to Become a Young Entrepreneur. Jason is a 2023 alumnus from the Act to Change Youth Ambassador Program, where he was integral in creating a supportive and inclusive environment for himself and his peers. Through his writing and passion for entrepreneurship, Jason draws from his own experiences with bullying as a catalyst to empower other AAPI young people to step into their own power and leadership. Jason's resilience, compassion, and unwavering commitment to making a difference make him a deserving recipient of the 2024 Changemaker of the Year award. He even left junior prom early last night to make it today. I wouldn't have done that. And has to be on a plane tonight to receive another award. Okay, busy man. Busy man. Please join me in congratulating Jason Liaw for his outstanding contributions.
Well, I want to start by thanking Act to Change so much. You know, everyone from the board members to Nancy, you've helped me so much getting even to here today. I'd like to thank my mentors, Kat Malari and Mia Cariello from the Smithsonian Asian Pacific American Center, for being part of my mentorship and being part of my journey. I'd like to thank my parents, my mom who's here today. Clap it up. Because I absolutely wouldn't be here without you. How do we define ourselves in a world that is constantly trying to define us? I first asked myself this question on a field trip in 4th grade to the American History Museum. I saw pictures of George Washington, Benjamin Franklin, but when I looked for a resemblance of myself, even anywhere, I was met with a shocking realization. American history isn't about you. If only they knew my mother faced bomb threats working at the US Embassy. If only they knew my grandfather helped land Apollo 11 on the moon. If only they knew that, like them, I had an American dream too. If only they knew. Now, I had a reason to start doing something. I combined my passion for coding and something to bridge this cultural gap, and built websites for a local chamber of commerce. I met business owners, mom and pop retailers, small and big, young and old, and all of them shared their stories with me, immigrating to the United States, sacrificing everything for their families. I knew I had to share their stories. Then the pandemic hit, and instead of being silenced by the voices, instead of being silenced by the media, instead of being silenced by everyone who told us no, I knew that other people could benefit from hearing their lessons. So I turned to my lifelong friend at the time, and we got to work, compiling interviews, insights, and advice from these entrepreneurs. And we wrote a book. 11-year-old, seriously? How could you even write a book at that age? But in the perspective of immigrants who left previous lives, in the perspective of business owners who gave up everything to come and chase the American dream, what did we have to lose? So, after 4 years, I learned the very important lesson of taking rejection. But along the way, we also published our book, Down to Business. 51 industry leaders share practical advice on how to become a young entrepreneur. So I guess I learned something about being resilient from all my community members too. Now, when I started my Act to Change youth ambassadorship, I had one goal: continuing this inspiration and this roadmap for future leaders. So I was incredibly excited when I found out I had the opportunity to work with the Smithsonian Asian Pacific American Center. I hope that through my work, one day, someone will walk through the halls of a museum, seeing a piece of literature, a poem, a sculpture that represents a piece of all of us, because that's what really matters. Now, resilience and risk-taking, these are the virtues, these are the qualities that are embodied in all of us here today, that are embodied in our community members, in our youth, that let us stand in resolve against hate and rally around changes that matter to us. Let us keep using our voices. Let us keep telling our stories. Let us keep making a change, because we must act to change the world. Thank you so much for this honor.